Nestled deep in the misty forests of Canada, Blackwood Village was a quiet place, home to only a handful of families. Surrounded by dense pines and a lake so still it looked like glass, the village had always been peaceful until the disappearances began. It started with a young boy, Liam Carter, who vanished while playing near the woods. His mother swore she heard him scream, but when she ran outside, all she found was his small red shoe lying in the dirt. Then, an old man went missing on his way home from the tavern. By the end of the month, 5 villagers had disappeared without a trace. Panic spread like wildfire. The elders whispered of an ancient curse, but the younger villagers scoffed. Until nightfall, when they too locked their doors and kept their lanterns burning. Among them was Noah Thompson, a skeptical journalist from Toronto, who had come to investigate the disappearances. Unlike the terrified villagers, he believed there was a logical explanation, perhaps a wild animal or even a hidden criminal lurking in the woods. Armed with a flashlight and his camera, he set out one foggy evening to explore the forest. The deeper he went, the more the air thickened, like an unseen force pressing against him. Twisted branches clawed at the sky, and an eerie silence hung over the woods. That's when he saw it, a shadowy figure standing between the trees. It had no face, no features, just a tall, looming silhouette. Noah's breath hitched. His instincts screamed at him to run, but he forced himself to raise his camera. As he clicked the shutter, the flash illuminated the figure. There was no one there. Yet in the moment of light, he saw something else. Hundreds of deep scratches covering the nearby tree trunks, as if something had been dragged into the woods. A guttural whisper broke the silence. "You shouldn't have come here." Noah spun around, his flashlight shaking. Nothing, just the fog curling through the trees. But then a voice, soft, childlike, called out, "Help me, Liam." Noah followed the sound deeper, his pulse pounding. He stumbled into a small clearing where a well stood, old and crumbling. The voice came from inside. He leaned over the edge, shining his light into the darkness. A pair of pale, lifeless eyes stared back. Noah gasped and stumbled back. The thing in the well, it was Liam, but his skin was gray, his mouth twisted into a grin far too wide. And then Noah felt it, cold breath on his neck. The shadow from before loomed behind him. Its voice slithered into his ear. "Now you see, now you stay." But Noah wasn't like the others. He was prepared. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the charm an old villager had given him. A small wooden carving with strange symbols. "The shadow fears the light," the elder had whispered to him. Noah didn't hesitate. He flicked on his camera's flash and kept it on. A bright burst of light filled the clearing, illuminating everything in stark white. The shadow shrieked, its form twisting and unraveling like smoke caught in the wind. The darkness peeled away, revealing the faces of the lost villagers trapped inside it. Liam, the old man, and the others, their hollow eyes suddenly flickering with life. Noah took a step forward. "You're not taking anyone else," he shouted, snapping another photo. The light burned into the entity, and with one final agonized howl, it vanished. A heartbeat passed, then another. And then, Liam gasped, sucking in air. His gray skin returned to a normal, rosy hue. The others too blinked in confusion, as if waking from a nightmare. Noah grabbed Liam's hand and helped him up. "You're safe now," he said. "Let's get everyone home." When they returned to Blackwood Village, the people wept with relief. The missing had returned, and for the first time in weeks, the darkness over the village lifted. As for the shadow, it never returned, and the well where it had lurked, the villagers sealed it shut forever.